Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, my glamorous girls. How y'all
Hey.
doing?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
And somewhere, right? Hello there,
Hey,
out there.
everybody.
Hey,
Happy Saturday.
everybody. Happy
Woo,
Saturday.
happy Black
Saturday.
History Month.
Happy
Happy
Black History Month. Happy
Black
Valentine's.
Professional Physicians Women's Month. We got a
Oh,
whole
okay.
bunch of month. Yes.
Okay. It's a lot
Oh,
going
the
on
wait a
in
minute. The Black
February.
women physicians are taking over February also.
Yes, they
Yep.
are taking
Okay.
over.
I see
As
how we
Dr.
do.
Yolanda put that word out, and I was just sent that hot off the press. I thought I'd throw it in before I forget.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Well, it's all good in the neighborhood. I'm Wyoming.
I'm Peg.
I'm Linda.
I'm Charlene.
And we are
4SistersLIVE.
Live. Hey, man. This your day, girl. It's health and wellness. I'm telling you, this is a great time that we need to talk about health and wellness. Okay?
Every
Health
day.
and wellness.
Yes.
Every day.
Every day. We gotta stay on it. Because with that food, that stuff that we got out there that we're eating, yeah, we gotta stay focused. And this weekend is the worst weekend of them all.
Why?
Another chicken wing, I'm gonna
weekend.
fly away. If
Oh,
I eat
it's
another
football.
chicken
Yeah.
wing. If I eat another chicken wing,
Buffalo wings,
buffalo barbecue,
mac and cheese.
anybody having no mac and cheese? I don't know, but they might.
They have barbecue mac and cheese now. They got all kinds of mac and cheese. Mac and cheese has taken a whole new life.
But that's
It
true.
has.
It really has.
It has taken a whole new life. They have crab macaroni and
yeah, they do
fries,
cheese
yeah.
fries.
I've seen so many macaroni and cheeses until the clogging has begun. So
we just looking at it, your cholesterol is all over the place.
All over the place. So this is the weekend that we know that it's going to happen, and we're going to have to really focus, and we're going to have to really today throw it away after the day.
Yeah, well,
you can have vegan macaroni and cheese.
Yes, but if you go to the Super Bowl party, it's not going to be vegan. So you better do it at home.
I'm bringing vegan plates for my vegan people.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know it's only gonna be just a little small corner. So
at least to introduce them to it, because they don't believe it tastes good.
Yeah, and you know what I bought one year? I bought some buffalo cauliflower.
I love
and
that.
It tasted like chicken wings.
That's good.
And the children was like, "Whoa!" And we made chicken nuggets out of it. Like, I hate that stuff. Let me just be real. Like, they have that other stuff with it, but I eat it when I'm trying to like calm down from the meat. But yeah, it actually tastes like chicken with the right person cooking it, not me, but the right person.
If they put almost the basic same seasonings on it, you kind of, because I remember learning when I was going into veganism, and I'm not a vegan, y'all. I'm an vegetarian. I'm on the edge. I admit it. I keep telling you, I'm on the vegetarian.
She said the vegetarian. I'm
on the edge. I don't eat red meat, but I like a little piece of chicken that's just got to be in there. And I take the skin off. But anyway, that cauliflower, buffalo cauliflower, that bulk, that's supposed to make you think you're eating a piece of chicken. And
right, the pooling eyes, it feels like skin or
anything that would get us to feel we still eating chicken. I don't care. Put some barbecue sauce on it, put some hot sauce on it. I don't care. As long as black folks think we still eating chicken, they don't care. They're gonna put ketchup on it.
And that mumbo sauce.
And mumbo sauce. Okay.
I don't know. My
mumbo sauce might be the healthiest.
Right. I don't know. My dad knew what a vegan thing was. Like when I was in my 20s, I had my daddy over for this big breakfast, and he had diabetes. His stuff had shot all the way up, and we were trying to calm him down. And I invited the families and friends over for breakfast. And I said, "Oh guys, we got this great breakfast." And I caught myself pulling out the pork, like we getting rid of pork. And we're gonna try this turkey bacon. Oh, girl, my goodness. My daddy was a pastor. I never seen his mouth get ready to form and curse me out.
Let me tell you something.
Like, he was not about to, he said, if somebody don't get me some pork, he said, this tastes like cardboard box. Like, I thought he was going to curse it. Girl, I pulled out the bacon so fast. I was like, that bacon comes so.
there is no
And we need your comments. If you've had that same problem or issue in your family, hey, let us know.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. But yeah, like and share our page today. We got a lot of good things happening. Talking about health and wellness, and one thing about it, we do not like to change. Some people just don't like change. They don't. Right. We talk about changing diets, and they want to fast, and I got to stop doing this. Now stop eating that. It's in their mind, and I'm telling you, it's kind of a challenge to do.
We have to do it gradually.
You have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. You just can't just say, wean yourself. Don't go cold turkey. I'm gonna stop it. I ain't gonna eat this. It's kind of wean yourself and get under some strict diets, or do it with a partner, or do it with a group, or just do it so that you can feel the support.
Yeah, you gotta have someone with you to do this.
Yes, you just need to do that, because you're best around. They find you laying down like what? and I don't mean to laugh. I'm telling you, people will do things in the incorrect way, and then you have to go, and then you have to see a physician because you didn't do it properly. You have to take and know your numbers, people. Know your numbers before you start jumping out on doing these things and changing your lifestyle and changing.
I had to learn the hard way. Know your numbers.
Tell us about it. Look, tell us about it.
Know your numbers.
You know your numbers.
I didn't know my numbers. I thought I was doing everything correctly, and I was doing pretty good. But then I got off, kinda. And I didn't know my numbers. So when I found out about my numbers, I said, OMG. Yes.
My mother, when we didn't, she walked, and let me tell you, some people, you walk around thinking you healthy, you fine, all is well, you get up, your numbers high, it is just a matter of having a stroke or anything at any moment. My mom number was so high. It was over 400, I believe, over 300. My mother's 87, and she just doing fine. I feel good, blah, blah, blah. I ain't nothing wrong. Look, my mother's numbers were so high. They say, Mom, because she is a, surviving stroke victim. And so we had to rush her to the hospital so we can make sure we got that under control. You know what I mean?
So Wyoming, when you say numbers, are you talking about like their blood sugar number?
Your blood sugar number, your number. Yes, your blood, and your blood pressure number.
And your blood pressure, right.
Yeah, you do feel kind of normal when you're walking around, especially with sugar. Like I didn't know that bananas could trigger it up, like
it's
your
sweet.
sugar. Like, but it's so good. But
it's so good. But I found out there's a way that you have to do. And what I was doing wrong, I was eating strawberries and blueberries because they say they're good for you. But I was eating them first thing in the morning. As a diabetic, I should not have. So I learned I had to layer regular food on and then have that later. But not have it first thing in the morning like some people if you're not a diabetic. So So we just have to know and study. And that's what we're going to do on the show today. We're going to learn so much about our health through our guests. And that's what this day is all about.
Absolutely. So join us, put in the chat. Anybody have any questions today or want to chime in, definitely do that. But as we do, so, like I said, there's so much going on. It's a month of February. It is Black History Month. And there's a lot happening. It's a short month, but it's packed filled with some good stuff.
It's a sweet month.
A lot of events.
It is a sweet month. It's a sweet month.
It is.
It is a very
sweetheart month.
Yes.
As you say, we know it's Black History Month. So let's get down and let's just, let's
because we have a packed show today. We got to roll.
Yeah, because all I know is a lot going on. Look, y'all, it's a lot going on.
Too much.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So we just got to, adhere to what's happening and how we're going to maintain and do what we got to do. So go for it, man. Who you got? What you got going on?
I guess we'll start with our birthdays, I guess. Start getting that out the way. And our Black
History birthday. Let's go to our happy birthday. Who's celebrating a birthday?
Oh, we got quite a few birthdays. Let me start off with my favorite one. This is my sister Marty. Marty celebrated her birthday on the 4th of February.
Happy birthday, Marty.
Right. Happy birthday, Marty.
And then we had a couple more sisters. Ruthie Lucas, as you know, is a member. And her birthday was February the 5th.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Ruthie.
Happy birthday.
And then we have two sisters that are celebrating birthdays today. This is Lauren Lassiter. Hey, Lauren.
Hey.
And our sister Linda Marshall.
All right, Linda #1.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll
and
give
then
a big
finally, on the
Yep.
12th, we have another sister.
Oh,
Okay, Dr. Butt.
Dr. Peanut Butts. Yes. So I'm gonna give a
happy birthday.
I'm gonna give a toot all of them.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So what we have going on in reference to Black History?
We have our Black History Month birthdays.
Okay.
On the 9th of February.
Not yet, B.
Oh, not yet.
Hey,
on the 9th, we had Alice Walker, author of The Color Purple.
Oh, yeah.
She was born in 1944. We also have Leontine Price, my favorite. World-renowned opera singer. She was born in 1927 on the 10th. We have Roberta Flack. Hey, y'all all remember her. Roberta Flack, a wonderful singer right here in this community, in the schools. And in 1937, she was born, and she's still with us. And we have for Valentine's Day, which is most important, Frederick Douglass, the great emancipator. He was born in 1818 on February the 14th, believe it or not.
Well, speaking of Valentine's Day and Lovers Week, can we just show some hearts out there for those who are selling Happy Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
If you are single, treat yourself. Get your own self some roses. Don't worry about it. Don't get depressed because you may not have a partner or
love
someone
yourself.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
I'm done.
Somebody looking. Who's looking? Somebody looking.
Oh my God.
Anybody looking for a partner?
Anybody looking for a Valentine this weekend?
Girl,
for those that are looking, look no more.
Look at yourself.
Go pull out the mirror. Look at yourself.
Look at yourself. Right.
Love yourself. So happy Valentine's Day. Amen. All of that good stuff.
And we have
Black History Month. Yes.
Yeah.
We're talking about the
Black History Month. And should I go into Black History? I have a couple of Black History Month moments here.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna go through some of these couple of inventions that we might not have known. In 1891, Philip Downing invented the mailbox, y'all.
Wow.
Believe it or not, as a solution to visiting the post office, every time he wanted to mail a letter, Downing invented the first outdoor mailbox that had the hinge door, you know, the one we see on the roads.
Yeah.
It was created by a Black man.
Talk about convenience.
How about that? And one that we look at every day once you go outside is, of course, the traffic light. Want to remind us about that when we get upset. In 1922, Garrett Morgan invented the traffic light.
But why did he invent it?
After watching firefighters struggle with smoke, Morgan designed a device that used a wet sponge to filter out smoke and cool the air. And how did that do with? He witnessed a serious traffic accident that inspired him during that time. To update the way traffic lights alerted drivers the right of way. So going on to turn on the red light. So when you see the red light, think of a Black man.
A Black man.
Although people ignoring red lights these days, I don't know what the heck that's about.
They are going
but
through.
I digress.
They are going through, and I'm gonna give you one more for our household: the clothes dryer. Believe it or not, the clothes dryer.
They got tired of hanging out.
George T. Sampson.
Y'all remember the clothespins? Y'all hang out the clothes.
Yeah. I think they got tired of.
They got tired of that.
But check this out. Prior to his invention, clothes were hung over the top of an open fire, but often left clothing with smells of smoke. Believe it or not. Oh yeah, you know.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. So I thought
that's an interesting point.
That's a good history moment. So please, everybody, tell your children, because they know what's in their book, but they might not know these. So.
Well, a lot of the things that they don't know, they're not being taught.
Yes.
They're very
we weren't taught.
They're not knowledgeable of a lot of history. That's right. They want to take, actually, you already know, they try to take history out of the schools anyway.
They really are.
They really are.
I heard on the news that someone had to write a note if you want to hear Black history.
Are you serious?
You want your child to have Black history for that week. Yeah,
oh my goodness.
We gotta do it. Whether it's here, on this platform, whether it's in schools, whether it's in church, whether it's wherever they can get it, they need to learn it. Actually, we are Black history.
We are 365 days a year.
Black history. We're making history every day.
Who is creating these rules that you cannot?
I don't know.
Black. I mean, just trying to exit the blacks. Period. Like, we don't even exist, but we can tell white people's history, like, all throughout books. It makes
tell where it's interpreted by someone else when it's not real. And it's limited too, because they only give you limited information. So that's why we have this month.
And this is why we have to vote.
And that's why we have to vote.
And
we thank God for Carter G. Woodson, who was born on February 7th, what we learned last week.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's right. Thanks to Carter G. Woodson, he said we should not only have a day, not a week. Well, we finally got a month. Well, it's a year now. We already know that.
Yes, 24/7.
All right. 365, baby. Black 365.
365.
So guess what, guys? Come on, Wakanda forever. Yes. Look, okay, it's something else. It's very, very important. Black history. We cannot forget this when we know it's happening. This Sunday. Guess what it is? Da, 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 da.
Oh, yes. Woo! I forget. Oh, how can you forget? Super Bowl. Da, 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 da.
Yes.
Did I see the Ravens in there somewhere?
No, man, I know. You know, that would have been a wonderful Black history.
Yes.
The Ravens and the Baltimore and Detroit, man.
I was hoping for that. I even went out and bought me a cup. Remember, after the show, I ran to the dollar store because in my dollar store, they must be from Baltimore because they always have the Ravens paraphernalia in the store. So I ran out and I got a cup last week, 2 weeks ago. But anyway,
but we have a wonderful, awesome, legendary icon, superstars, just an all-out, awesome entertainer in Usher. Usher's going to bring the smoke, baby. Usher's going to bring the smoke. Meet me in the club. It's going down. Meet me in the club. It's going down. Yes, Usher. Salute to the brother. He deserves it. Come on, Charlene. We know how you like to dance.
Yeah.
I am so excited for him. I'm excited for our artists, for our entertainers, period. All who have been a part of the past Super Bowl. You know, we just had the Grammys, and that was wonderful in its own way. It's a lot to be said to that, but, you know, we know that it is about what it's about in reference to the industry as a whole. And so, you know, we just got so many of us as Black. Here we go once again, Black history.
It's history.
You know, all of us is making history. A lot of those who made history who have not yet been recognized, you know, as relates to the music industry in itself. So I'm happy for him. He deserves it. And I just know that this man has worked so hard. And when you work hard like this, it pays off.
It pays off.
It really pays off for your hard work. So I think most people are so interested in seeing him than the game. But let me tell you, I'm gonna say this and we can move on. The history fact on this. Do y'all remember In Living Color?
Yes.
And you know the 3 snaps and around the guys that were on In Living Color. Yeah. They were on doing I think one time when they had Super Bowl, and they were on, and they did not have entertainment at that time during halftime like they do now. And people switched, saw them during that time, and it changed. And then the NFL said, "Oh, never again." Because that's when the numbers changed and things went to them when it was time. They didn't have time and they didn't have anything going on at the time. They were the entertainment back in that time. In Living Color, the 2 snaps, the guys, and baby, they said, "Oh no, we will start having some entertainment at this point."
That's a Black history. I didn't know about that one. Yeah.
So anyway, that's but we are shining stars. I'm telling you, we are inventors. We are the ones who lead the way. And that's just the way it goes. That's who we are.
All right, Peggy, give us our hot picks right fast. I got to plug up my computer. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Okay. What's happening in Hot Picks, Peg?
My computer said low battery.
Don't you better hurry up.
There we go. This one is, we're definitely going to really support this particular one. We have 4 sisters in the organizations that's going to be recognized. And it's sisters like Dr. Tashika Green, who provides a platform for us to showcase our sisters. This event is going to be in honor of her mother. And the date on it is it Saturday? I think it's Saturday, March 30th.
The 30th. Yes.
And it's going to be at Bowie State University. Yes. So if you wanted more information, go to Dr. Tashika Green's website. Okay. Next.
All right. Wow.
Yes. You already know that we're in production now to present you this fantastic stage production, Chocolate City Records, the musical, on Mother's Day weekend. All I can say is we're getting ready, and you all should be ready to go get your tickets at thelincolndc.com. Get your tickets. Thank you very much.
This one here is one of a kind. All I can say, one of a kind. The Power Networking Conference, July 10th through the 13th. It will be in Charlotte, North Carolina. Sisters for Sisters Network is hosting this event with Dr. Frazier. So if you're interested, reach out to us, sisters4sistersnetwork.org.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And this one, Black Love, the Black Love movement, for many years, I think it's over 30 years now, that Sister Ayo Handy Kendi, she has created a holiday just for us on the 13th of February called Black Love Day. So she has a program that she's going to have at the E-Life restaurant at 9033 Central Avenue, Capitol Heights, and that's going to celebrate. And she's also going to have breathing. You know, she teaches us about how deep breathing, yoga, and those type, and it's free. Please bring your yoga mat. They had an event today, but she also, on the 13th, is Black History. I got them confused. Black Love Day is on the 13th.
Cool.
Remember that. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
And this one here is one of our favorite, Kathy Muhammad. Kathy is going to be showcased on LeJeune's podcast on Wednesday. This Wednesday coming up at 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
7 p.m.
Mind, Health, and Wellness. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good job, Kathy.
Okay.
All
so
right.
I think that's it. Let's go on with the show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful guest, 2 wonderful young ladies who's coming on the first half of our show, and that's Sharon Rouse. She's a native of Washington, D.C., metropolitan area, and also her sister, Shantae Simpson. She's dedicated her life to influencing the world on kidney disease and dialysis, and now she's also a transplant survivor. She and her sister, Shantae Simpson, actively share their transplantation story to bring hope and healing to anyone facing difficulties and circumstances in life. So we're going to bring on right now Sharon Rouse and her sister, Shantae Simpson. And we're going to talk about kidney and kidney disease and their foundation.
Welcome. Hi, welcome, ladies. Welcome.
Hi, hello. Hi. Thank you for having us. We've been over here dancing and just getting into the show. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Thank you.
I'm glad you could enjoy it. Yes.
Thank you. Yes, we were having a good time. I was like, man, I love this.
I just want to insert, since we was doing birthdays. My birthday is on the 20th of this month. So.
All right. Happy birthday.
Hey. Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Yay, Shantae.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
So tell us all about your journey.
Absolutely.
How did you get to this?
Yeah, so we have some slides, and we want to share. I feel like pictures bring things to life, and so we want to share just our story, our journey. As you can see, it's a book here because it really has been a book in what we've had to go through. And so I feel like it's so appropriate that you all are 4 Sisters Live, because the title of our presentation is I Am My Sister's Keeper, a journey of faith,
beautiful.
hope, and love. And I feel like our story, the picture of our story is just that. It's about being your sister's keeper.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about our story. It's a couple of different processes, but one, we're going to start with the process. Then we're going to go over to our transplant journey. And then we're going to have tips for whoever needs to go through a journey like ours. And then we're going to talk about her organization that she has founded.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just one of my favorite quotes. Life is a journey that must be traveled no matter how bad the roads and accommodations. And that's by Oliver Goldsmith. And, you know, this particular diagnosis is what I ended up going through, completely took my entire family by surprise. I didn't have a family history of kidney disease or anything like that in my family. And so I learned that, you know, you have to continue to move forward no matter what happens in life. And many times things happen unexpectedly and we don't understand them and we don't know why they happen. But I you know, this quote became one of my favorites, that life still has to go on no matter how bad the road conditions, no matter how bad the things that happen to you are. This is just a little bit about my background from the time that I was a child on up. And so I, you know, have been through several things in life as far as growing up. We had a pretty normal childhood. It's four of us. I'm the oldest child among our 4 siblings. And, you know, just had a pretty normal childhood. Nothing eventful that happened that I can remember. I remember having a hernia surgery at the age of 2. But as far as health wise, I was relatively a relatively healthy child from what I remember. Get a cold every now and again, just normal, pretty normal. And so when I was 27, I started having swelling in my hands. I'd wake up in the morning and my hands would be swollen. And so I was like, what is going on? But by the end of the day, they kind of, you know, the swelling would go down. It would be fine. I was like, okay, you know, I don't know what this is all about. And so I started to go to my doctor and try to find out what was going on with my hands. And they couldn't really figure out anything. They did a lot of testing and things like that. And so I continued to go back to the doctor because it was still happening. And by the age of 28, they diagnosed it as lupus. They said, you know, based on the labs that we've been doing and the fact that you have this swelling in your hands, and I had some fatigue, but I was a school teacher at the time. So I thought that was a part of the job, that you're going to be tired. And so, you know, I had swelling in my hands and I, you know, continued to go. And so with the diagnosis of lupus, it does take some time because there's several things that could be going on, because lupus has a list of various symptoms that are associated with it. So they're very careful to not just diagnose it as lupus, because you have to have a lot of the different symptoms before they come to that conclusion. So they concluded that it was lupus. I will say I never felt that it was lupus myself, but I didn't really know much about health or anything like that. So I just said, okay, well, it's lupus. They gave me medication. I took it for about a year. Swelling went away, had no issues after that. And because of that, I started going to a rheumatologist. And so, you know, things were fine. I was in remission for all that I knew. And so that's what it was. And so fast forward to September of 2006. I just had a baby girl, March of 2006. It was considered a high-risk pregnancy, but it was uneventful. I didn't have anything that needed attention during my pregnancy. Everything went well. And then of September of 2006, I woke up to go to work one morning with swollen legs. You can see the picture here on the left. Didn't really, you know, it didn't dawn on me that it was something serious. I don't know why. Now in hindsight, I'm like, why didn't you think that was serious? So I got up and I got dressed and I went to work. I'm thinking, I was tired. I thought maybe because I worked in the school system that I was on my feet all day. And I thought maybe that was what was going on, that my legs were swollen because of that. And we had back to school night the night before. So I just thought I had been on my feet, been working all day. I was tired. I had a 5-month-old. That's what's going on. So I went on to work, and I decided to go and ask the school nurse what he thought was going on. I said, what do you think? I woke up, my legs were swollen. What do you think's going on? And he looked at me and he said, you need to get to the emergency room right away. And I'm thinking, now, like, school had just started, we're getting ready to start the day. And so school had just started. I'm not sure how that went back, but okay. School had just started. And so I wasn't sure what was going on, because school had just started. And so I went to the emergency room, and I remember that day as clear as ever. The nurse came in and she said, your kidneys are failing. And at no point in this journey had I heard anything about kidney disease in my whole, going to the rheumatologist, lupus, nothing, no one ever mentioned kidney disease. So this completely took my family by storm. It completely took us by surprise. And so our story, there's a lot of components to it, but just for the sake of time, I was diagnosed in 2006 with FSGS kidney disease. And FSGS kidney disease is focal segmental glomerular sclerosis. And it's where a part of the filters in your kidneys become scarred. And there's no known causes. I don't have a family history of FSGS. No one in my family had been on dialysis or anything like that. And so I'm not, they didn't know what was going on, even though now research is out there that there is a specific gene called the APO1 gene that could be responsible for a large number of African Americans' kidney failure. And it's a gene that everyone has, but if you have more than one copy of the gene, then you're at increased risk for kidney disease, and especially diseases, protein spilling diseases like FSGS kidney disease. And so that's what I was diagnosed with. And so fast forward 2006, they gave me medication, was able to keep things at bay. And then in June of 2012, I ended up on dialysis. And I mean, if you would have told me years ago that I would have to start dialysis, for me, that was like telling me it was almost like a death sentence.
And you were very young as well.
Yes, I was
young.
Was
it. You were very young.
Yes. And so I just felt like, wow, my life is over. And I will stop here and just say that for anyone that may be receiving a traumatic diagnosis, it's okay to go through the grieving process. And when your life has to change, when life as you know it has to change, as mine did, it's okay to go through the grieving process. And in hindsight, I realized I was grieving. I was angry. I was in shock. It just went through a myriad of emotions behind this diagnosis. Like, why is this happening to me, God? What's going on? What did I do? Just asking all of those questions. And so I came to the conclusion of, why not me? If this has come by surprise, I didn't expect it. Why not me be the catalyst for change? And I vowed that if this happened to me, I was going to make sure that I learned the information that I needed to learn, so that if, God forbid, if it happened to anyone in my family, it wouldn't catch them by surprise, because they would be prepared. They would know what to look for. They would know what the signs and symptoms. So fast forward, I was on dialysis June of 2012, and then 2013, I ended up starting peritoneal dialysis, which is a form of home therapy, because I was still working full time. And as you can see there, when you're on dialysis and you decide to do it at home, it comes with a lot of equipment. And so that the third picture there on the right is all of the boxes that I had to do it at home. But I will say I did prefer to do it at home, because it was much more gentler on my body than going to the center 3 days a week.
Hi. So I'm Shantae again. I'm going to start with the quote that says, I am learning to trust the journey, even when I do not understand it. And that is by Mila Braun. I grew up, she's my sister, so we were always together. We were always close. Growing up, she was almost like my second mother. It's crazy. She's really like my second mother. Like, took me, to my basketball games before she went to college, and we were in the house. We always picked on our middle sister. Like I would be the jokester and she would be the laugher. So we kind of egged each other on. And then she went off to college. I went off to college. And then, life happens. You begin to start your own family. So you're here, I'm there. Go to the next slide. So in 2010, I was pregnant. I had my son in August of 2010. By the end of 2011, my life changed completely upside down. I lost my job. Well, I had to leave my job because me and my child were homeless. I lost the relationship and the kids that came with that relationship. Everything just changed. So I moved back up here to stay with my family, my mother, bless her, without her, and Sharon. I moved with my family back up here. And mind you, I have a baby. I slipped into this total depression. Total. I didn't want to work. I had this baby, grateful I had help. And in February of 2012, I tried to commit suicide. And at that point, I just really could not find a purpose in life. I still had no job. I felt like a burden. Everybody's taking care of my child. They're taking care of me. It was a lot going on, and I could not get out of that depressive slump. And I don't know if you have people in your life that when you're going through something and you don't know that they're going through something, that somehow they shine a light on you.
Mm-hmm.
So that and that was Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
She called, she took me to church. She did whatever she needed to do to pull me out of whatever I was going through. And she was still going through her thing. And so, is this you? And so when Sharon came to me and says, hey guys, I have kidney failure and I'm going to need a kidney. The first question I said was, can you give a kidney to somebody? How many kidneys do you have? Can you give it to? I didn't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how many you had. I didn't know if you can be. I thought that you had to get it from someone that had already died. And she started talking to me about it. And because she was my anchor, it was no questions asked. She didn't even ask. I said, I got you, girl. Just like that. And I think she thought I was playing, but I am my sister's keeper. She kept me. You can have mine. What do I need to do?
So we started the journey towards transplantation. And so when someone comes forward and they want to be a living donor for you, they get tested, they get blood work done. They're looking at your ABO, which is your blood type. They're looking at just various markers first before they determine whether you are going to come in for the other testing. And so we received clearance for surgery. We were so excited. We had a kidney transplant date. And 2 weeks before the surgery, I developed shingles. Don't know where this came. I was still in my 30s, like, where is this coming from? And they said, maybe you're nervous, maybe, and as for anyone that's experienced shingles, it's very, very, very painful. And so I experienced shingles and they had to cancel the surgery. And so we went through that process. I got over the shingles. They scheduled another date. And 2 weeks before the surgery,
I had my levels. They were concerned about my hemoglobin levels. So I had to start going through iron infusions. I was going 2 or 3 times a week for an hour to get, that's the picture on the right, iron infusions, because they were saying my levels were really low and they were really concerned and they may not think that I should be the one to do it. And I said, oh no, I'm going to do it. And after that, I had to have 2 bone marrow biopsies just so they can see if I'm okay. And so it was a long journey. I kept hearing, no, maybe it should not be you. And in my mind, it was made up. No, it is me. This is now my purpose. It is me. I don't care how many pieces of bone you need to tweak out to figure out, I'm going to give my sister this kidney.
Yes. It looks like this, and we're running out of time, but I do want to, this is a story that
love story.
We really do need more time. but we have another guest. What is it that you really want us, because we can see this process, and I'm so happy and thankful that you brought this to us, because a lot of us did not know that, you have to have a living person. I know you had to go through testing, etc. But I see Transplant Day. How did, we're kind of tied up on how things turned out after all of that you went through.
Yes. So we finally made it to the transplant table on December 2nd of 2013. So we celebrated 10 years this past December of the kidney, and just that's a miracle in itself. Sometimes the longevity of a kidney, you just don't know. Yeah. And so we'll fast forward, as we have a lot of tips and things. Our story is layered with so much, but as a result of the journey, I started Kindness for Kidneys.
We definitely have to bring you back on. Yes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. It has to be a special month for kidney. So that's
next month in March.
Next month.
Really?
Okay.
Well, March is National Kidney Month.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just leave with this. We started Kindness for Kidneys, and we do several things in the community to give back. I used to sit in a dialysis chair and just want to know, and I would just pray to God, what can I do to change this narrative? Because if you notice, there are dialysis clinics all throughout our community.
Everywhere.
Yes.
But we're not talking about it. And so Kindness for Kidneys seeks to help educate, encourage, and empower families. And so these are just some of our initiatives that we do at local dialysis centers. We have support groups and things like that. And so for anyone that's interested in connecting with us, we're at kindnessforkidneys.org is our website, and then Kindness for Kidneys on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, X, and LinkedIn. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You get your merch. You can get your merch.
Yes, and we have merch here as well.
Do you have a website?
Kindnessforkidneys.org. Yes.
Kindnessforkidneys.com.
Kindnessforkidneys.org.
And are you still on dialysis? Are you still going?
No. So once I got the kidney transplant, then I no longer have to do dialysis.
That is a blessing.
That's a blessing. That is a well, everyone, we want to thank you so much, Sharon and your sister. We just wow, that was a journey, and I thank God for you and being able to show this to everyone and to educate us. And we're going to have you to come back, because it's a very important subject that we don't talk about, and we see dialysis companies all over the place. So we thank
y'all. Thank y'all for sharing.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Kathy, our sister Kathy Muhammad, for inviting you. We thank you.
Good job.
Yes.
Wow.
Bye.
Wow.
Yeah, I was taking a lot of notes. I'm very familiar with dialysis, and my mom was very blessed to get her kidney within 1 year of finding out that she had a weak kidney. So and none of us was a match for it. The doctor said absolutely not. Even if you did match, we're not doing that, because both parents had kidney failure. So that was a huge thing. So we couldn't even give our own parents, even though we would have been a match. And I am a match to my mom, but they told me no. So so that's another thing they don't tell you about. Like, if you have a high number, your mom and your dad have it, you cannot give a kidney, because it's a likelihood, regardless of how good you eat, you could get it. So that I'm taking notes from them. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even think about this.
We're gonna go right on, and we're gonna rush in.
Another interesting conversation.
Yes, we're gonna talk about this again maybe next month. So our next guest is Mr. Johnny Steele. He's a seasoned musician and founder of the Steele Family Gospel Group. He has performed at prestigious venues like Carnegie Hall, the Kennedy Center, and his talent has been featured in Ebony Magazine, and currently serving as music director and worship leader at 2 churches. He wears also many hats in his role, but most importantly today, we're going to talk about his journey with health, the proper nutrition. He has a book out that we're all going to talk about. And this is the book that just came out, talking about nutrition, exercise, and holistic practices. I bring to you the one and only Johnny Steele.
Hi, Johnny. Hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
Johnny.
Thank you all for having me. I'm certainly glad to be here.
Yes,
so
happy to have you.
You are here. Yes, and I'm looking at your forward. We have one of our brothers, who is also a very good friend of yours, and that's Dr. Willie Jolly. He even did the forward on the book. So you're in the family.
Yes.
Yes, and I see that you and Y have a history as well.
Yeah, musically, yes,
And I like right.
definitely.
I'd like to thank Janice Leaks who introduced me to you through the Generational Wealth Alliance. After I saw that, which comes on Thursdays at 7:00, which is a Zoom. That's how we met you. So tell us about your journey.
Well, thank you so much. And I know the time is short, and I want to thank Sharon.
And we'll have to bring you back too.
and I'll be glad to. So I want to thank Sharon and her sister for that amazing story and that amazing sisterhood. It really, really brought things together. I really appreciate hearing that. But just real quick, I'll start off with the main thing for me that kind of jump started me into my health journey. And it's literally the first chapter in my book. So because the time is short, I'll just concentrate on that. And that is, it's something called colonics or colon irrigation. I learned, well, to tell you how it all started, I was going to take some pictures of myself to design a new card for myself when I used to work with Verizon. And so I went to one of those Photoshop places and I had some pictures taken and I didn't open them until I got back to work. When I got back to work, I wasn't happy with what I saw. I just said to myself, I was like, wow, your face looks fat. You don't even look like yourself. And I didn't even realize it at the time. So at that time, I decided I've got to do something. I've got to change myself. And at that time, I was thinking about retirement. So I had a lot of things going on. And I had, as I was going to retire, I knew I was going to lose my health insurance. And so when I looked at how much health insurance was going to cost, I remember saying to myself, man, I can't afford to go to the doctor. I got to live a lifestyle where I never have to go to the hospital. I never have to see a doctor. So with that in mind and wanting to change the way my appearance looked, I embarked on this journey to live a healthier lifestyle, try to figure out how I could lose weight, try to figure out how I could stay away from the doctor. And this was back in like 2007. So the first part of my research told me that before you start anything, before you start any type of diet, before you start any type of health journey, one of the first things you have to do is you have to clear out your colon, because the colon affects every part of your body. It affects your skin, it affects your energy, it affects your health, it affects your weight loss goals. It improves circulation in your body. It improves your mood. So the first thing I did, I looked up a doctor. I went to a person called Dr. Tyler, and he performed these colon irrigations. And so I had no idea what I was getting into, didn't know anything about it. Went and talked to him, heard his story about how he changed a young boy's life. This young boy was having trouble walking. He couldn't even walk across the room. It would take him maybe 10 minutes to just walk across the room. And I remember the doctor saying that he prayed to God, of how he could help this young man. He was like a stepfather to this young man. And so God gave him an answer as he was embarking on colon irrigations for his clients. And so he put the young man on an irrigation board and started running 5 gallons of water mixed with hydrochloric acid to break up the mucus. He thought that the mucus in his body, even though he was a young boy, he felt that there was something that could happen from what God had told him through some colon irrigations. So he put the young man on the board. And after almost 2 hours of colon irrigation, he heard these loud bangs come out like a shotgun. And the loud bangs was some fecal matter that had been hardened like rocks in the young man's colon. And the bangs was the stuff shot out of his colon and was hitting the porcelain in the toilet.
Ooh.
And so he pulled out those rocks and he set them on a towel. He took pictures of them, and he took pictures of all the other stuff that came out the young man's colon, and he took pictures of them. And while I was sitting there talking to the doctor said, this is the kind of stuff that are in people's colons and they don't know about it. Well, to shorten that story, the young boy kind of passed out after the irrigation because it was longer than normal. And the next morning, while the doctor was in his office, the young boy walked in his office without any limp, had no signs of irritation. And the doctor just started crying. And the young man led a normal life from that. And from that point on, the doctor knew that he was on to something. So I remember asking, I said, Doc, you think some of that stuff could be in me? He said, it might not be this bad. He said, but I guarantee you got some stuff in you want to get out. And so he set me up 3 irrigation appointments. And basically that is running 5 gallons of water throughout your lower colon to interrupt the fecal matter and the parasites and the debris and the toxins and stuff that are impacted in your colon. So I went through the first one, and I remember just hearing all of this stuff coming out of me, and I'm thinking to myself, this is impossible. I never, if you think of a decent bowel movement, multiply that times 50. And stuff was just, I mean, I'm laying on this board, and I could just hear the stuff just rolling out of me like a machine gun almost. And I remember after the first one, I cleaned myself up, came upstairs, and I was like, Doc, I think you can cancel those other 2 sessions because I don't think there's anything left in me. And so he just laughed at me and he said, I'll tell you what, come back tomorrow, because they had set him up 3 days in a row. Come back tomorrow anyway. If there's nothing there, I'll give you your money back. Came back day 2. More stuff came out than day 1. I came back upstairs. I said, Doc, I don't think I need day 3. He said, come back anyway. If nothing happens, I'll give you money back. So after 3 days of colon irrigation, so much stuff came out of my colon, it changed my entire life. It set me up on a journey where I think probably at that time, I might have lost 7 pounds of fecal matter that was just in my colon. Wow. And if people remember when Elvis Presley died, they found 35 pounds of white chalky fecal matter in his colon. That's why Elvis had that big protruding stomach. It wasn't because he had a beer belly, but when he died, he had almost 40 pounds of fecal matter lodged in his colon. Wow. And so what a lot of people don't know, when you want to jumpstart any diet, if you want to jumpstart a health journey, the first thing you want to do is you want to irrigate your colon. Once you do that, and once you see the stuff, and the doctor let me see the stuff because he put a strainer in the toilet. He said he does this for first-time patients. He let me see the kind of stuff that came out of my colon. It was dark black, milky. There was colors. There was squares. There was things I can't even describe to you. You'd have to do it to see it. And once I realized the stuff that it came out of me, to make this real short, and I'll come back at another point. At that moment in time, after the 3rd day, I remember driving back to my office because I was doing these on my lunch hour. That's how easy you can do it. I remember driving back to my office and saying to myself, I never want this stuff in my body again. I never want to feel this again or know that I have this in my body. So it changed everything I did. It changed everything. It changed the way I ate. It changed the way I thought about food. And I'll tell you a little bit later. I have chapters in my book that goes into how I became a vegan, how I cured my high blood pressure. Because after a time, I came home from a New York trip, and there's a chapter in my book called "Don't Ignore Your Body's Check Engine Light." And we all have a check engine light. You know when things are going on in your body. Oftentimes we ignore it. Drove home from New York, and for 4 hours I had this pain in my neck. Didn't know where it came from. And I never had pain. I've never experienced pain. So when I got to my sister's house the next day, it was 4th of July, something just told me to check my blood pressure because my mom had high blood pressure. So my sister checked my blood pressure and it was very high. And then I realized that the rest of my family, who was also at the picnic, all of them had high blood pressure and I didn't even know it. They were offering me their high blood pressure medicine. And I was like, you have high blood pressure? Then my other sister, she's like, well, John, you can take my pills, because they was alarmed that I was like, all of y'all got high blood pressure? I didn't even know this. I had like 5 sisters that was on high blood pressure medicine.
Wow.
I didn't even know that. I remember sitting in that room. I closed the door. I told everybody to get out. I'm not taking anybody's medicine. I closed the door. I got on the computer, and I immediately decided I was never going to go to the doctor. I was never going to take high blood pressure medicine. I changed my life immediately right there. I started reading things. I stopped eating meat. stopped eating processed food. I stopped eating fried foods. I went and bought a bunch of celery and started making celery drinks. And I've been on that journey ever since. The pressure has came down, has never went back up. And so I got so much to say until I'm going to tell you to get my book.
Yes.
I know time to look.
Dante, let's see the book.
Yes.
Yeah, the book, Dante.
I'm going to tell you who I compare myself with. I compare myself with my 16-year-old grandson.
All right.
Me and my 16-year-old grandson are the same size. He wears my clothes. I can wear his clothes. I can outrun him. I can outskate him. And so whatever I do, and I'll tell everybody I'm 65. But every morning that I get up, when I get up every morning, I feel like I'm 30 years old. I can outrun my grandsons. I can do anything they do. We can wear the same clothes. And because here's a statement I want you to get used to. I got addicted to the results. A lot of people get addicted to food. They get addicted. But when I saw how I started to look and feel, then I went on this exercise journey. I would get up every morning. I was saying, I ain't messing this up.
Right. Wow. Tell us where we can get your book. Oh my goodness. How can we get
my book on Amazon? It's right under you can pull up my name, Johnny Steele, and you can get my book. Or if you want to have me personally sign it, you can talk to me one-on-one and I'll bring the book. I bought the book to Linda the other night.
Yes, I can.
I want the book.
And I'm going to say, I'm glad you're talking about to our brothers. We need to have this spoken to our men.
That big belly.
Many men are walking around dying.
The big bellies. And they used to be handsome, but they got these big bellies. It's blocking the love. Okay.
There's a chapter in my book called Real Talk. And that's what I talk about. I talk about this to men and to women.
Yeah, it's real. It's
because
real.
Your age is really reflected a lot of times in your weight. A lot of times people mistake my age only because I look young.
Right.
Because
you look really young.
And you move young as well.
I'm at a 16-year-old weight size. And so those type of things because part of the book says reversing time, how I took 25 years off my life.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm getting this book. This is so good.
But with the minute we have left with you, tell us, we're going to switch right quick about your industry of your music. And you are
he's a famous musician.
Yes,
you're part of the industry because I know you and your family. Anybody know the Winans? They are comparable to the Winans because everybody in their family are musicians and singers.
Wow.
Back in the 80s at Howard University. At Howard University, we opened for the Winans.
Y'all were comparable to the Winans, man. Your family runs deep with singing. So tell us what's happening.
Got a big concert coming up at the Birchmere on Friday, March 29th. Right. Friday, March 29th. And the two young ladies you see beside me, that's my wife and my daughter.
Wow.
They also sing with me.
Yeah.
And we're all on this journey together. So I'd like you all to come out to the concert on March 29th, Friday, March 29th at the Birchmere, a historical auditorium in Alexandria. And I grew up in Alexandria. So all my Alexandria friends that are listening, T.C. Williams, Minnie Howard, Parker Gray, Lyles Krauss, those are all the schools. I want y'all to come out, hang out with Steele family. And music is what I love. I was up till about 3 o'clock this morning doing music. And I said, well, boy, I better go to sleep. I got a podcast to do in the morning.
Well, you are one of the best out there. You are one of the best.
Thank you all so much for having me on your show.
You will be back.
You will be back.
Johnny, you will be back. We're going to give you the whole hour because I think this is very important.
Yes.
We will have a couple of men to surround you and women to answer that question because I've heard of colonic cleansing, and I'm telling you, it does save lives. But I look forward for you having a whole hour just focusing on how to reverse our time because that's
I would love to do it.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, Johnny.
Thank you so much,
Johnny. Pleasure's all mine.
One more question. Do we get it on Amazon? Can we find your book on Amazon?
Yeah, he said
find it right on Amazon.
I'm ordering it today.
If you want me to bring it to you personally, I'll do that.
You gotta bring it to me personally, and I'm ordering on Amazon Amazon today. I'm ordering the electronic copy, the hard copy, and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm getting it all.
Give it to your family and friends. It's a great gift.
That's
Absolutely.
a wonderful Valentine's Day gift.
Wonderful Valentine's Day.
A Valentine's Day gift. That's love.
We
So
can
you
change your
answered
fortune.
all of your questions, the colonics, the pressure, and the vegan. We took care of it all, baby.
Woo!
Awesome.
Hi, Johnny.
Thank
See
you.
you
Thank you
later.
so much.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Hey, that was way too
Wow.
quick, Linda. Way
I
too
know.
quick.
I know it's
We're
gonna be.
not booking anyone else with him the next time he comes because
That's right. True.
that is
Even
such
with the
a good
kidney.
show.
Yeah, it was good.
Hey,
With kidneys
Linda.
as well.
Linda,
Yes.
do you remember we used to do and why in Charlotte? You remember we used to do 2-hour shows?
Yep.
You
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's never
It
enough
was-
time.
It's always never
Education.
enough time. You can have 3
Right.
hours. It's never enough time.
Never
These
enough
are
time.
considered
But
as
I
seminars,
wanted to
workshops.
do that just to excite us twice. I just wanted to just throw it out there. And I met these two, these two people were introduced to me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put them both on because I want to, they're too important. Two of the most important subjects in our area,
Absolutely.
kidney disease,
As Black African Americans, yes.
High blood
especially, and we're
Yeah.
concerned. This is Black Love Week, so we have to take care of ourselves. So we will definitely have them back on. And I thank everyone who watched. I want everyone to send this to your friends and your family.
Yeah.
Just, share this because it's so important. And we want to support the organizations, the kidney organization, Kindness for Kidneys.
Yes.
And we want to purchase the book and we want to go to the Berkshire and rock on.
Absolutely. We got to have him on because our men need this for real.
Yeah.
Maybe during Father's Day month, maybe June.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Well, our time has just kind of gone. It's gone. Who we got next week? Next week is our education mentoring. Yay!
We got a lot of people. It's going to be a packed week. We got some more. We got another surprise guest. Yes, next Saturday. So, just stay tuned. We're floating those flyers like right now. We have a movie star, young lady that we're going to introduce you to concerning just praying and asking God for what you want and just that relationship with God. But better than that, Mayan, who is the producer and writer of that particular screen, not play, but that movie is going to just talk to us about how you can actually get in to writing and producing your own movie. So I'm excited about that. And other things. I got one more, Linda. I can't remember my girl's name, but she's going to come and educate us about Black history. So we're going to have a Black history moment, but we're also going to have, hey, if you want to get into film producing or be an actress yourself, hey, stay tuned for next week.
All right.
Okay. So we had a great time here. So what time is it?
Woo! It's time for you to walk in your purpose and prosperity.
Thank you all for watching. See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.